Do you see that? It's frost. And I did not know that was gonna happen last night. Hi there. It is early Saturday morning and I was planning on doing my geraniums today. Basically, I've got a number of geraniums and I've been overwintering them for the last three years, I believe, and some of them are new, so this will be the first time they go in. I thought I was fine because we've had really nice weather. It's been ridiculously warm and sunny, and I did not know it was gonna do a frost last night. The last few times I've done this, I've done it in November, so I thought it was fine. I think it's November 2nd maybe today, but you can see there is a good amount of frost on these babies. And I'm a little nervous, but I think they might be okay. This will be a good experiment to see how well they survive with just a tiny bit of frost on the leaves. As you can see, the sun is out today, so hopefully we'll get, and it's clear sky. It's like clear blue sky right now. See that? So I'm hoping that pretty soon here when the sun comes up over those trees, they'll get some sun on them and hopefully it won't melt the frost and melt the leaves. We will just pray to Jesus that that doesn't happen. But anyway, I will meet you back here in a few hours after these plants have kind of warmed up a little bit and hopefully melted the frost off without melting the leaves, and hopefully we can do a movie and get them in paper bags and in the basement getting ready for next spring. It's a few hours later. The sun has been shining on the geraniums and it looks like they're ready to go, but you can see everything else is kind of frozen. It was only a matter of time. Those are my impatiens. Oh yeah, begonias, those froze right up. Hosta are starting to freeze up. Some in substance is just completely gone, but everything else is starting to yellow up out here, and it is a little chilly. But I'm going down to grab my green bin or whatever. Oh, it's actually right there. I'm gonna grab that green bin and then a little like hand shovel to try to dig the geraniums out. We gotta get all these plants in the ground. I'll probably, since I really don't know where to put them, I think I was gonna give them to my mom. I'll probably just put them in my raised garden bed and overwinter them. But I wanted to grab this, and we'll get a hand shovel. Let's see here. I'll grab my knife and oh, right there in front of my face. I know, it's okay. You don't want to come out, trust me. You're too scared. All right, let's take a look. Oh wow, they look fine. They made it through. So what I'm gonna do is, you can hear Max squeaking at me. There's 3 plants in each one of these containers. I'll take them out, and what I'll do is I'll take off all these dead buds or blooms. I'll take off all the blooms, and then any like bad leaves like this that we'll get up in there, and we'll find a bunch of dead stuff like this. We'll clean them up and we will put them upside down in a paper bag, and it's super simple. Let's get to it. What's the matter, buddy? I know, but you're too scared every time. I feel like it would be the easiest to just scoop them out of here while they're still attached, because these are like a weird shape and they don't sit right on the ground. So I'm just gonna kind of scoop them out, try to get as much of the root as I can. All of the root, actually. And then I'll just shake off all the extra soil. You want to get all of the soil off. as much of it as you can. It's okay to leave a tiny bit on there, just like I guess for kind of moisture purposes. You don't want these to stay too wet throughout the season, or throughout the off season in your basement, but you also don't want to have them dry out completely. So I kind of cleaned up the roots there. You can see there's not much dirt left on there. And now I'm going to go in and remove all the buds and like the brown leaves that are on there. So we'll just pick all these off. This is actually easier to do without gloves, but I'm just going to drop it on the ground and we'll sweep it up later. But you just basically want to clean as much of the dead up as you can. You will check it once a month in the basement or wherever you have them, and just, you know, kind of do the same thing and clean off any like moldy leaves or anything like that. Make sure there aren't any moldy stems or hearts or whatever, and then check it the next month. But that looks pretty good. And then what we'll do, I don't know how many I can fit in one bag, because it will go in the bag like this, like pretty thick and lush, and then when you pull it out, it's gonna look like it's knocked on death's door. Like it will look like dead as a doornail. But it's living. It's like a miracle. A miraculous thing takes place. So I'm gonna try to fit at least 3 in a bag, and we'll see how we do. So basically, you're just gonna take your paper bag like this, just a regular old paper bag, and stick these in here upside down, so they're kind of hanging upside down. And I could totally fit 3 in here. I might be able to fit like an extra one, because I don't think I only have 10 bags, and I have quite a few geraniums, so I want to try to fit as many as I can. But we're gonna continue to do that with the rest of these and see how far we get. Scoop these out. That seemed to work pretty good, scooping it out of here. Just kind of gently take off the soil. And you see I did remove like some of the roots. That's fine. I kind of quit watering these geraniums like honestly like a month ago. I know that sounds crazy, like no way. But honestly like a month ago, because it cooled down but it stayed sunny. So I think that helped a little bit. But I also was kind of preparing them for what I'm doing right now. I didn't want them to be super, super wet, because you don't want them to be wet when they go into the bag. If they are, you can just keep them out and dry them up a little bit somewhere where they're not going to get rained on or get moisture. So there, I fit 2 in that bag. Honestly, I probably could fit like 4 or 5 in here. We'll see. They're actually kind of a little bit root bound, you can see. So it's probably good that I'm doing this, actually. I bought these, gosh, I don't know, in July maybe? June, at the end of June or beginning of July. And they were $1 a piece at Countryside Greenhouse. And I thought, oh my gosh, it's already halfway through the summer, but I'm just gonna buy these because I can overwinter them, and it's free. It's like buying basically a perennial. You know, you can't beat that for $1. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in, clean up all these dead bits. I actually prefer to do this without gloves. You can feel better what you're picking out and cleaning. Take all the buds off and the old blooms. And you want to clean out the newly forming buds too. Okay, that looks pretty good. There are some dead ones in there, but sometimes you just shake them out. Yeah, that's it. Put it in the bag. Okay, so we've got 2 in here already. I'm just gonna take them out so you can see them. We've got 1, 2, 3, and just gonna kind of shove them together a little bit and put them in, and I can totally fit at least a 4th one in there. So I'm gonna try to get a 4th one in there, and we'll call it good. Birds are trying to eat the birdseed. I'll be done soon, buddy. You can get something to eat. I'm gonna start working on all of these ones now. This will probably be the third or fourth, I think, winter that I'll overwinter these. I noticed this year that there was one that was pink, so you can see that one kind of has like a paint color to it, and then the rest of them were red, and it kind of drove me nuts all season long. I love pink and red together, but not in something like this, because it was just like all red and then one like weird lonely pink one. So I'm going to try to dig that one out and put it in a separate bag so I don't do that again next year. I have, let's see, 3 more red ones. I've got the same ones I just did in these bags. I have one there, and there. So I'm going to try to fit those all in the same bag with these leftover ones. I don't know if I have enough bags, so I'm going to try to get all of the just straight little red ones in the same bags. Then I'm going to get the bigger red ones in other bags. I also have these ones right here. These are all the same color. Let's see. Yeah. So try to get these ones. You can see these ones are much bigger. I've had these ones for, I don't know, like, yeah, this will probably be my 4th year, I think, saving them. But they're a lot, you know, older. So we'll try to get those in the bag. and show you how much bigger these ones are. These are the ones I've been saving for 3 or 4 years now. You can actually see that spot right there is where I had to cut a stem off last year when I pulled it out. Same with that right there. That's a spot where I had to cut a stem off, but then one grew right there. You can see that green. And then there's also one, this is hard because it's a shadow, but there's also one growing right there. And where I cut that off, a stem grew there, which I just peeled off. But you can see I cut this off last year right there, and this kind of was shriveled up and dead, but 2 more were growing out. So this is kind of what it will look like when you pull it out in the spring. It will look kind of dead, and some of them will in fact turn out dead like that, but some of them just fill up with moisture and survive. So these are all the old stalks down here. You might be wondering why I have this giant box, and that is because just like you can put the geraniums in a paper bag like this, you can also put them in a cardboard box. I've never tried this method before, but I've got these giant ones that I just showed you, and they're not, even if I put one in a bag, it's not going to fit in a bag. Like, look at this, will fit in this giant box. This is the only box that I have, and I think it's gonna work just great. So I'm gonna at least put these violet, I think it is. These are the violet geraniums that I've had for 3 or 4 years in this spot. And I also brought out some tags. I'm just gonna use like these little twisty ties and then write what color it is so I can remember. So we'll see if this works. I don't really know. But just shove this through the twisty tie, or shove this twisty tie through the Post-it note, and then I'll write what it is, and I'll tie it on the geranium so I can remember. Because like I said, this past year I labeled them all, but I don't think I did it good enough. Last year, if I can remember it, I think I put them in the bags after they were all done blooming, so I didn't know what color they were. So I'll just put violet, just like that, and then we'll put it in here. And then I'll do that for the rest of those 3. And then I might even put, there's a big red one here, this boldly dark red. I might even put this one in there too, and it'll be just fine because I can label it. But the rest I think I can put in my bags, but they're all kind of like a hodgepodge. Like I've got 2 reds here. This is the violet. Got 3 violets, which I'll put in the box, 2 reds, which I'll put one of the reds in the box, and then the other 3 are different colors. So here's a red, and then this is that color. I'm not sure what you call that, magenta or something. And then this was a like a coral. So I'll work on labeling all those. But yeah, it's pretty easy. It's the same concept. What I'll do is I'll put these in the box, and then I'll actually put the box probably on its side. So, kind of a hodgepodge here. Well, yeah, these are way too big to fit in the bags. Even if I did put just one in a bag, they still wouldn't fit. write violet on that. And what I'll do is put them in here like this. And they're just going to lay on top of each other. Normally, the box would open from the top and you kind of press them down nice, but try not to break them, but we'll just kind of shove them in there. We've got one more violet. Make a little tag for it. Violet. I'm going to put this one in this way. Might fit better. That. And then we'll label this red one boldly dark red. Let's drop that one in there too. And that will be the time. We'll just close it up just like that. We'll put it down in the basement. Okay, now, so I'm just gonna write pink. There's like a light pink. And throw it in there. And then I'll also write it on the side of the bag. And then these were more of those boldly dark reds, but they were smaller, so they fit in the bag. Actually, I could probably just stick that other one in here. Like so. Yeah, then I have all three of those. So these are that boldly dark red. I have a tag, so I'll stick that in there, and then I'll also write it on the side. Boldly dark red. And then all these were the red ones that I pulled out of the basket there. So we'll just put red. And then I'm going to put basket. That way I know. I have an extra bag left over because I have just 2 left, so I might actually take, because I put 4 each in here, so I might actually take 1 out of each of these and put them in my leftover bag. That way they have a little bit more room. We'll see. But when I bought these red ones right here that I got for $1, I bought 3 extra ones because I've had pretty good success with this method of saving geraniums, but I have had some that didn't survive. So I thought, you know what, for $1, I'll just buy 3 extra ones, and that way if a couple of them don't survive, I'll have extras to replace them. I'll label these and put them in the same thing. Oh. And that was a coral. And I don't know what you call that, like a, I don't know, hot pink. The coral. And we'll just put these in the same bag. We'll use this smaller one. Oh, you know what? I've got that variegated geranium down there I want to save too. Don't let me forget. That's like, that one was my favorite plant this year. Just label this one. Right, these are kind of big. I'm going to use this a little bit bigger. Yeah, these ones I've had, actually these are the ones I grew from seed this year. That hot pink and coral. So we'll do, I'm going to separate a couple of these out. That one's got 4 in it, so we'll put one in here. A little bit more room. Some of them are bigger than others. There. So that's the red basket. And this, we're gonna go get that variegated geranium. Look at this. Isn't it beautiful? And then it bloomed that kind of like corally hot red color. It's so pretty this year. And we'll give it its own bag. I don't know how well this will save. I've heard that people have tried to save ivy geraniums and those have it saved as well. Get this off of the roller. So we'll see. I mean, obviously this is not an ivy geranium, but you never know. I do have this wire vine too I should dig out while I'm here. Because I was going to try to save that and put it in like or make it into like a topiary this winter. That might be fun. Oh, I sure hope you survive, buddy. You're just beautiful. Take off your buds. Oops. It's really sad to take these off, but you know, if I left it out here any longer, the frost would continue to kill it. Yeah, there's a wire vine right here. I should dig that out and take that inside too, but we'll do that in a different movie. Alright, let's get it in the bag. Don't want to break it. Oh, it smells so good. It's actually a scented geranium. It's a variegated scented geranium. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just go through and kind of staple these up. And I want to keep, you know, airflow going through there. But I don't really want a lot of light because they're supposed to go dormant. Just kind of staple them, kind of like that. Shove the roots down in there. Go through and do the same thing on all of these. Kind of make sure. Now these are, a lot of these are, this is the second, third, or fourth year or whatever that I've saved them, so they are getting bigger. I might have to start going more towards the, you know, the box method if that works for me, because eventually these are not going to fit in the paper bags anymore. Just kind of close it up, help it go to sleep. So we're just going to continue to do that, and then I'll take them downstairs. You want to help us? No? Come here. You're okay. You're okay. You want to help us put the geraniums away? Yeah. Alright, so I'm down in my basement, and this is usually just where I put them. The bags actually fit really nicely up here. I'll start with the red ones that go in the baskets. Here. Now this is the most I've ever had. So the last red basket one is right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Usually I have like 6 less. Well, actually that's not true because I got the box. But let's see here. I got this box, and this one's got 4 geraniums in it. So I probably have like 5 more bags than I usually have because I got that variegated scented geranium too. So this one I'm just gonna put on the floor down here. And as these ones, I'll keep an eye on these ones as they kind of shrivel up and get smaller. I might transfer them into a smaller box. This is just all that I had, honestly, and they actually fit pretty good in there right now. But anyway, that's about it. And what I'll do is, like, okay, so it's November 2nd, I think, today. I will check these, like I said, once a month, and I'll actually open up the bags and just like kind of investigate in there, make sure there's no like moldy or rotted stems. And if there is, you just basically cut it out, no big deal. Honestly though, I have forgot to check it for a couple of months and it's been fine. So as long as you put them in there and they're completely dried out, you get most of the soil off, you should be good to go. You will notice when you do check it, it will actually bloom in the bag. It will throw out buds and bloom in the bag. So that's actually kind of a nice little surprise during the winter when you're checking it. You have like a beautiful bloom inside that bag, and it's kind of fun to think about how amazing that is, that it will bloom inside a dark, cold, dry area down here. I also have a squirt bottle down here. This is actually left over from last year that I'll just set on the shelf. And when you are inspecting them, if you do feel like the roots are so dry, they're almost like breaking, they're so dry, then it is okay to go ahead and squirt them just a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit, so they can retain a little bit of moisture so that they're not completely drying out. So anyway, what I'll do is I'll leave them like this through the winter, and then 6 weeks before my last frost date, I will take them out of the bags, plant them up, water them with some fertilizer, keep them inside next to a window, and let them kind of recuperate and wake up from taking a nap over the winter. And then once you're good to go and you're clear from frost in the spring, you can take them outside. You might want to get them acclimated a little bit, maybe move them to your garage first if that's like a bit of an in-between temperature from your basement, wherever you've held them, from your basement to your garage to outside. You might want to wait and bring them out during the day as opposed to the early crisp spring mornings. So that's another trick too, just to kind of harden them off from, you know, being inside all winter. But I hope that you try this with your geraniums, and I hope that you have success like I have. Like I said, I did have a couple that died, so you know, you might not have 100% success, but boy, it's sure worth it if you love geraniums and you just don't love the price of them every single year. This is an awesome activity to do to save your money and keep your flowers from year to year. And I also think it's kind of cool that I've had the same geraniums now for going on 4 years. That's pretty neat. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me while I take care of my geraniums, and I hope to see you next time. Bye. Max? What are you doing, buddy? You watching the chipmunks gather all their nuts? You're a good boy.